What's up, amigos? It's Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. Guys, I've been working on my new book, The Secrets of Spanish Tennis, 2nd edition. I'm working hard on that. Going to get the draft out to my publisher very soon, so stay tuned for that for 2023. But as I'm working through the book and updating it and adding new chapters for the new book, it's just struck me how often players from Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, Russia, how often those players migrate to Spain basically for finishing school, basically to hone their games and then go out on the professional tour or the elite junior tour, like the ITF junior circuit. You see many elite juniors from around Europe heading south to Spain for many reasons. In my book, I talked about the weather being one of them, but there's so many other reasons. The coaching, the tournaments there, the level of coaching, the level of players, along with the great atmosphere in Spain, where it's a little more chill in general, and people are typically friendly, and the weather is amazing, especially along the coast of Spain and in Mallorca, which is now a big destination for players. But some examples of that are, I think of like Karen Khachanov and Andrei Rublev, more recently Casper Ruud, and FAA Felix Auger-Aliassime. All of these players have trained substantively and if not for years, for very seriously in Spain, or they have Spanish coaches. And those are some of the bigger names. There are also many other names I could list going back going decades back. Garbiñe Muguruza comes to mind, and going back a little farther, Marat Safin was one of the first. Andy Murray is one of the first stories of a European player. Marat came from Russia and moved to Valencia and trained at Tennis Val, for example, became #1 in the world. And his sister also became #1 in the world, Dinara Safina. But there's a whole list of players. I go into detail about those players in my book. Players who basically, left their home country at a young age. I mentioned Andy Murray as another one, very famous example, and chose Spain as the place to complete their game, so to prepare their game to go out basically on the pro tour or the top level junior circuit. And I think Spain will always be one of those destinations. Some players in Europe will go to Germany or to France. Morata Glau's academy in Nice is very big now, as you probably have heard, and so that's a major competitor. But in Spain, you have a number of different options. Most players end up in the Barcelona area, in Catalonia, possibly in Mallorca, especially now with the Rafa Nadal Academy being such a big magnet, or in the Valencia region. That's typically where players end up. They usually go south to Valencia, possibly to Alicante, where Juan Carlos Ferrero has a very professional, incredible small, medium to small academy. So typically from Alicante to Valencia to Barcelona and then over to Mallorca, that's kind of the big hub of tennis in Spain. Not to neglect all the other areas of Spain, but most of the great players have trained in those regions. So that's very common, Spain as a finishing school. And what's interesting about it is oftentimes when players from outside of Spain come to Spain, they sometimes have a little bit different genetic stock. Like they could be bigger, taller, stronger. Marat Safin's a great example of that. Big, strong Russian kid came to Spain, learned how to move well, learned how to defend and play with effect, with topspin and to compete really well. There are many other examples of that. Karen Khachanov is very, very, very much like a Marat Safin body type. And anytime a large player, a tall player, learns how to move the Spanish way, learns how to defend the Spanish way, learns how to build and structure points on clay, I think those players become really, really dangerous. and they usually have great success on the pro tour. When I see tall players, strong players who don't move that well, I think it's a weakness and a liability. And I think to myself, if only they had spent a few years in finishing school in Spain. But guys, if you like this Prodigy Maker Minute, check out my big show, the Prodigy Maker Show. It's available on your favorite podcasting platforms and as a live show on this YouTube channel. We'll talk more about Spanish tennis and Spain as a destination in future programs. I'll see you guys on the next show.